it's very evident if you research. It's very evident that these things were made by man and weaponized. And then those poor soldiers who had those certain vaccines that went into the Gulf War, the ones who got it, and then their family members got it, which tells you it's bacterial mycoplasma. And there's countless information on this now at the moment in the world, and I've read about it, and I'm fairly confident it's weaponized. So, yeah, who knows how I caught it? Tick bite, mosquito bite, or unknown. Who knows? Who knows? It's very funny, my health took the biggest downturn when my video on the sacred secretion went viral in October last year. So, what's that about? There's something spiritual to it, because I know the last thing Satan needs is a planet who know about the sacred secretion. Because if the planet knows about the sacred secretion, Satan's lost. He's fucking lost. It's impossible. Impossible once we teach our children how to preserve that for people to want to indulge in the fleshly pleasures, and thus the control mechanism that Satan has to control us will be lost as well. We can start the killing today. If we could just learn to give a little love, you and I can change the world. Live a little love, make it better if we try. Hey guys, so I'm in a bit of a different position to my last video, where many of you were commenting how healthy and vibrant I looked. And I am eating a super low calorie, high nutrient diet. It's a type of fasting, I guess. It's not real fasting, but it still helps, it still works, still helps to heal the body, because it's not spending wasted energy on digestion. And unfortunately, since the reason I'm doing that is I crashed pretty hard again, and I am here doing my IV again. So my blood volume keeps coming down dramatically, whichever I was going to say. And it makes me so fatigued. And then I get to a point where my mitochondria can't recycle the ATP. If you don't understand that, you need to Google it, because it takes a little bit of understanding. But mitochondria power everything in your body, and so does ATP. Every single cell in your body is fueled by that. So it can't recover well. And what happened was, when Naomi was bitten by the snake, I pushed myself, because I drove high speed late at night to take her to hospital. Then the next day I was visiting her. But the problem was, I know how far I can walk, and one day I had to walk 3 times, I think, to the 3rd floor of a hospital, and it's quite a far walk. It's not far for someone who used to be able to run 40-50 kilometers without much trouble, but for me in my current state, it was a little bit far. And the result is that I at present don't have the ability to do anything. I can't walk anywhere, I can't drive, I just can't do anything. So in 2 weeks, I'm going to Germany for my apheresis, or blood plasma exchange. And that will also remove all the environmental toxins that are found in my blood. And then the body will intelligently dump the toxins that are in the tissue into the bloodstream, and then it'll happen again, and it'll be filtered out. So they say even one session reduces the load of mercury and aluminium in your body by 20%. So I'm having 8 sessions, so I'll be super clean by the end of it. And we hope that'll give my body the stance it needs for my own immune system at that point to take over and do the job it's trying to do, because at present it's too taxed. There's just too much going on inside me to beat this parasite and this bacteria. I'll then go on to a very strong herbal regimen, and then move back to anti-malarials and antibiotics early next year, probably for around about 6 months, to make sure everything's cleared from my body. So I'm spending most of my time like this, actually. It's just you're not seeing it. So the majority of my time is spent on IVs and sitting here by myself and feeling like shit, basically. I do feel like absolute shit. So that's life at the moment, and it's very, very frustrating for me. There's a lot of stuff not getting done that I want to get done. I need to get on outreach. I've got about 10 special needs children I need to get out to, and I want to get there before I go for my treatment. And I want to go with the camera, because when I go with the camera, we get better support. The children get sponsors because people can see, and it completely makes sense to me why that is. It completely makes sense. So I want to get out there with the camera if I can, and do it. So we do have outreach going on regardless, and I just hope I find the energy to share with you all about that. I'll probably record a video shortly about that, because I'm a bit annoyed about everything that's going on at the moment, and the struggles we're facing. And I annoyance and frustration is not normally part of my nature, but I'm allowing myself to have it. I think it's absolutely fine. I think it's important to let myself express it, in fact, to be honest with you. So as long as I don't express it in a shit way. So yeah, a little health update for you all. I'm getting worse for sure. I'm worse than I was. Let's say since I got back from Nairobi, I've just slowly, like from my heart, the left ventricle closing and the airlift Nairobi, I've just gone downhill basically since then. And I have my good days, don't get me wrong. I do have my good days, but I need to like really, really rest, and then I might be able to have 1 or 2 good days. Or I have to drive everywhere, make sure I don't use up energy, which is quite precious to my body at the moment, by walking, etc. So, you know, I can't walk. For instance, if you got me to walk 5 kilometers now, it would put me in bed for about a week or 2 until my mitochondria recovered, to give you an idea. So I look forward to them having the space they need to heal, instead of being overburdened by these fucking bacteria and parasites. And I believe the apheresis and IPT will do that. And that's what I'm doing. The whole of November will be spent alternating between blood plasma exchange and insulin potentiation therapy and herbal protocols and fungal, strong antifungal medication. The best way to deal with fungus is fasting, but my body's just unable to do a long enough fast at the moment, because I'm going to get electrolyte imbalance guaranteed. I could do it supportive with electrolytes, but for now I'm going to go with this, and then I'll try and do a 40 day fast. I'll aim for 40 days and 40 nights. Means simply a long time. You don't set a time when you're going to end a long water fast. You just don't do it. I might get to 30 days and think, okay, time to stop. 35, 40. I might get to 50 days and say time to stop. So I suspect early next year I'll use all of my knowledge to document the journey with everything that's going on, the fasting, etc. as well. And I'll do another 40-day fast. I haven't done one for a long time, since 2012. So yeah, so on we go, hitting the reset button. And I have decided that I'll put a little bit of that journey on this channel, but I'm thinking about doing a new channel just for when I'm in Germany and things like this, because it's not really in keeping with the channel I have. But I feel I looked around and there's nobody really done any documented vlogs or blogs on using blood plasma exchange to tackle this problem. So I thought I'd blog it and vlog it and put it on a new channel, and just John versus Babesia, or whatever I'm going to call it, John versus chronic fatigue or whatever, I don't know. I've got a multi-layered problem, basically. I've got the Lyme, as you all know. I've got Babesia, which is the one that's killing me, basically. But those two things have weakened my body to the point now where I've developed chronic fatigue syndrome, and I have post-exertion malaise. But I don't believe chronic fatigue syndrome is an unexplained illness at all. I really don't think so. And the reason I say that is I see that people are not fasting. You should fast. If you do a 40-day fast and then you've still got chronic fatigue syndrome, then do another one. It'll go, because you're digesting the viruses and stuff that your body's locked away inside its tissues, and you'll get rid of it. You will get rid of it. It's curable, 100%. 100% it's curable. I know it is. It's just the simple fact is that our body's overburdened and tired. And like they initially said, I've got chronic fatigue syndrome, but then we have a specialist who found out, yeah, you do have it, but you have it because your cells are overburdened. And if you're in a family where other people have got similar illnesses to you, like MS, ME, CFS, Lyme, all of these things, then you should always just go for the contagious one, the one that could be spread, the Lyme or the mycoplasma, and presume that you haven't been diagnosed because they haven't found it. It's hard to find. I tested positive for Babesia in England and negative for Lyme. And then in Germany, I tested positive for Lyme and negative for Babesia. So I really feel especially if you're in a family setting and other people have the same problem as you, that it's not a genetic thing. It's something you've caught. It's something contagious that has been missed by the medical science around you. And more than likely, it could be one of those infections I'm talking about. Where those infections come from? Well, after reading all the studies on Gulf War syndrome, I'd quite happily say that they're man-made by those sleazy bastards that we know to be in charge of our planet, because all those poor soldiers, well, I don't believe for 1 second that they I mean, it's very evident if you research, it's very evident that these things were made by man and weaponized. And then those poor soldiers who had those certain vaccines that went into the Gulf War, the ones who got it, and then their family members got it, which tells you it's bacterial mycoplasma. And there's countless information on this now at the moment in the world, and I've read about it, and I'm fairly confident it's weaponized. So, yeah, who knows how I caught it? Tick bite, mosquito bite, or unknown. Who knows? Who knows? It's very funny, my health took the biggest downturn when my video on the sacred secretion went viral in October last year. So, what's that about? There's something spiritual to it. Because I know the last thing Satan needs is a planet who know about the sacred secretion. Because if the planet knows about the sacred secretion, Satan's lost. He's fucking lost. It's impossible. Impossible once we teach our children how to preserve that for people to want to indulge in the fleshly pleasures, and thus the control mechanism that Satan has to control us will be lost as well. So, who knows? Who knows? But that's where I'm at the moment. I'm just waiting I'll have 2 litres of saline go into my body today, and it really helps me with my mental clarity when I'm feeling like I am, but I can't walk anywhere. And another thing which is happening to me, I kneeled down on the floor the other day, and my skin is so thin from my sickness that it just broke. So my body's putting up a good fight. But I'm not going to lie to everybody. I'm struggling and I'm suffering. Probably 60 or 70% of my time I'm like I am now, which is not nice. So anyway, I love you all, and I can't wave because my arm's got a needle in it. But I love you, and see you in the next video. Bye guys.